This video is a guide to the Apple Watch. We will be covering the following topics: 1. Unboxing. 2. Attaching the band. 3. Charging. 4. Initial setup. 5. Parts of the Apple Watch. And 6. How to use your Apple Watch. I'll add chapter markers so you can easily jump around if need be. Let's get started. Unboxing. Let's go ahead and open the Apple Watch box now to see what's inside. The Apple Watch that I'm unboxing is the Series 7 41mm Midnight aluminum case with GPS. They also make a 45mm version for bigger wrists and a cellular version. The back of the box has 2 pull tabs that are easy to open. First, you'll see the box for the watch. Underneath that is another box for the band. I went with the sport band so that I could use my Apple Watch at the gym. To open the band box, I'll pull the tab on the side of the box and then open it. Then I'll flip over the box and slide out the contents. If I unfold the packaging, you'll see the band. It comes in 3 pieces. One piece has the stainless steel pen in it. As for the other 2 pieces with the multiple holes in them, you'll only need one. It's nice that Apple provides 2 options, one for smaller wrists and one for bigger wrists. Now let's open the other box with the watch in it. I'll flip it over and pull the tabs on the left and right sides of the box. Then I will flip the box over and slide out the bottom part of the box from the top. You'll see some paperwork. Then we have the charging cable. Then the Apple Watch itself. It's inside a protective pouch. If we take a closer look at the charging cable by opening the tab, you'll see that one end is USB-C and the other end is the charging puck. Let's remove the Apple Watch from its protective pouch. It looks quite stylish in my opinion. They also have a stainless steel version and a titanium version. Attaching the band. Attaching the band is pretty straightforward. I like to lay out the parts on a table first. Do this on a soft, clean surface to avoid scratching your display, like a microfiber cloth would work well. Notice that the Apple Watch's display is face down, and that the end of the bands have a shiny part in the middle. Simply slide one side of the band into the end of the watch. You will hear it click in place and lock. Repeat this procedure on the other side. If you ever need to change or remove the band, simply press and hold the quick release button on the back of the watch while sliding out the band to remove it. Each side of the watch has its own release button. Repeat this procedure on the opposite side of the watch. Attaching the band to your arm is easy. I'll show it to you off of my arm to make it easier to view. Place the pin in the desired hole and then tuck the extra part of the band into the larger hole. This keeps everything neat looking. Charging. Charging your Apple Watch is simple. The white part of the charging puck, not the aluminum side, is what magnetically attaches to the back of your Apple Watch. The other side of the charging cable is USB-C, which can be plugged into a computer if you have that port. Or in my case, I purchased a USB-C 20-watt power adapter so that I can plug it into an electrical wall outlet and charge it fast. The Apple Watch 7 can charge from 0 to 80% in about 45 minutes. Depending on use, after an overnight charge, you could get up to 18 hours of runtime. Initial setup. Let's get the Apple Watch up and running. We will pair it to your iPhone. Your iPhone should have the latest version of iOS installed, be connected to Wi-Fi, and have Bluetooth turned on. A full charge or plugged into power is also recommended. First, turn on your Apple Watch by pressing and holding the side button for a few seconds. It's the button below the big dial on the side of the watch. It's also a good idea to have your Apple Watch charging at this time so that it does not lose power. After powering on, your new Apple Watch will display the following message: bring iPhone near Apple Watch. So you should have your iPhone right next to your Apple Watch, and your phone should be unlocked. Your iPhone will discover the watch and display the message, Apple Watch. Use your iPhone to set up this Apple Watch. Then press Continue. Then scroll down a little and select Set Up for Myself. Then your phone will tell you to point your camera at the Apple Watch's display. Position the Apple Watch in the frame as shown. This brings you to a screen on your phone that says, your Apple Watch is paired. If you've owned a previous Apple Watch, you can choose Restore from Backup. I'll select Set Up Apple Watch. After a moment, you'll need to agree to the terms and conditions. This signs you into your account. Then you'll be guided through answering some simple questions and making some choices. In my case, I'll enable route tracking. Then I'll press OK to Shared Settings. Then you can choose your text size with the slider. Then scroll down and select Continue. Then you can create a 4-digit passcode for your watch. So I'll press Create a Passcode, then enter it twice on my watch. Then you can set up your activity app. I'll scroll down and select Set Up Activity. Then I'll enter my birth date, sex, height, and weight info if it's not already on the screen. Then I'll press Continue. Then it will ask my daily move goal. I'll go with moderately. Then I'll tap Set Move Goal. Then I'll set my daily exercise goal. 30 minutes a day is fine. Then I'll set my daily stand goal. Then I'll allow my watch to check my blood oxygen levels. Then I'll set my watch to install updates automatically by pressing Continue. Next, I get to some Apple Pay and wallet questions that I will skip in this tutorial for privacy reasons. What you choose to enable is up to you, of course. Then I get to heart rate notifications. I can be notified if my heart rate is high or low. I'll press Continue. Then I get to emergency SOS and fall detection. The watch can actually tell if I've fallen and then call emergency services. I'll scroll down and select Continue. Then I'm notified that later in settings, I can decide if I want my display to always be on, even if my wrist is down. Then I'll press Continue. Next, we get to install available apps. Basically, if you have apps installed on your phone that can work on your watch, by pressing Install All, you can install those apps onto your watch now. I'll choose later. I think I want to be specific about what apps I put on my watch. That's up to you. Then we get to App View. You can view your watch apps as a grid or as a list. I like grid, so I'll press Continue. The Apple Watch begins syncing with your phone. By the way, if you are unfamiliar with the app icons and what each one does or is named, List View may be a better option. List View shows the app icon next to the name of the app in a list. Grid View is just looking at a bunch of icons. After syncing is complete, your watch is ready to be used. Parts of the Apple Watch. Let's get to know the parts of the Apple Watch. On the front, you will see the display. It's a touchscreen that responds to taps, swipes, and presses. On the back of the Apple Watch, you will see two band release buttons. If you press them, you can slide out the two sides of the band. The outer circle area is the electrical heart sensor. The inner circle area is the blood oxygen sensor and the optical heart sensor. On the side of the Apple Watch, you will see the digital crown. It can be pressed and held, and it also turns. Turning it is for scrolling, zooming, or changing values. In addition, it's a heart sensor, and you can hold your finger on it to get an ECG reading. Below the crown is a microphone. Below the microphone is the side button. On the opposite side of the watch, you'll see the speaker and air vents. Let's learn how to use your Apple Watch. Special thanks to my wife for filling in as the hand model. To power off your watch, press and hold the side button, and then slide the power off slider on the display. You'll also see an emergency SOS slider if you need medical help. To power on your watch, press and hold the side button. you'll see the Apple icon as it boots up. When it's up and running, you'll need to enter your passcode if you have that turned on. I disabled it for this tutorial. You'll see your watch face on your display. If it ever goes black or dim, just turn your wrist to look at your watch and it will come back on. Or you can tap the screen or tap the crown on the side of the watch. By the way, let me now introduce you to the watch app that's on your phone. Let's launch it. It has all of the Apple Watch settings in it, and it's often the easiest way to make changes to your watch because the screen is much bigger. In other words, changes you make on your phone in the watch app will automatically trigger changes on your watch because they are paired. Let's scroll down and tap Display and Brightness, for example. I'll adjust the brightness slider on the watch app on my phone. You'll see the watch's screen getting brighter and darker. I'll leave it in the middle. If we go back a screen in the app, another setting you may want to adjust right away is under General, so I'll tap it. Then I will tap Watch Orientation. Here I can select which wrist I wear my watch on, left or right, and which side my digital crown is on. Back to the watch. If you press and hold the digital crown, you can activate your voice assistant Siri.
What's the weather today?
It's currently cloudy and 30 degrees.
Or if enabled, you can just say, "Hey Siri," and ask a question. I'll press the crown once to go back to the watch face. If you see a red dot at the top of your Apple Watch, mine is above the 12 o'clock symbol, it means you have an unread message or notification. If you swipe down on the display, you can see your notifications. If you scroll to the top, you can clear all of your notifications. If you double-click the side button on your Apple Watch, you can use your Apple Watch to pay for purchases, like in a store. I've not set this up yet, but it would show a list of cards for payment that you could choose from. Then you would hold your Apple Watch within a few centimeters of the store's card reader. Then you would feel a gentle tap and hear a beep when your credit card info is sent. Control Center. If you swipe up on the display, we open the Control Center. First we have Disconnect from Wi-Fi. If you tap it, you can disconnect or connect to Wi-Fi. If you press and hold it, you can change things like choosing a different network. I can press Done at the top of the screen to go back. We also have Ping your iPhone. If you lose your iPhone, tap it, and your watch will trigger a sound on your phone so that you can find it by ear. Next, we have Check My Battery Percentage, which shows how much battery life you have left. Then we have Silence Apple Watch. It simply puts your watch in silent mode. Next, we have Theater Mode. When enabled, your Apple Watch display stays dark even when you raise your wrist. It also turns on silent mode to keep it quiet during the film. Then we have Make Yourself Available for Walkie-talkie. When this is on, you can have a walkie-talkie-like conversation with someone else who has a compatible Apple Watch. You just need to send them an invitation through your Contacts app. Then we have Do Not Disturb, the moon icon. When we tap it, we can choose from Do Not Disturb, Sleep, or Driving mode. If we select Do Not Disturb, we can choose on for 1 hour, on until tomorrow morning, or on until I leave. Hit cancel twice to go back. Next is flashlight. We can choose white light, flashing light, or red light by swiping to the left. People often use the flashlight when they are out for an evening run, for example. If you swipe up on the display, we have airplane mode. This is helpful when the airline allows you to use your Apple Watch on a flight, but they ask you to put it in airplane mode. This simply turns off cell service and Wi-Fi. Next is water lock. You should turn this on before going into the water. The Apple Watch 7 is water resistant up to 50 meters. You'll notice a water droplet icon above the 12 o'clock symbol. After you are done going in the water, You turn waterlock off by turning the crown a few times. Your Apple Watch will vibrate to help get rid of any liquid that might have made its way inside of it. Then we have Choose Audio Output. This allows you to connect your Apple Watch to Bluetooth speakers or headphones, for example. You are basically choosing where you want your sound to play from. Check headphone volume is next. This checks that your headphone audio levels are set at a safe listening range. Then we have Turn Announce Notifications on or off. When enabled, Siri can announce notifications over AirPods, for example, and this button simply turns this feature on or off. If we press Edit at the bottom, we can add or delete items in the control center. The icon you see at the bottom that I could add if I wanted to is Turn on School Time. If your Apple Watch is for your child, you can limit features during school hours, for example. If I don't want to edit my control center, I can tap Done, then scroll to the top, and then swipe down to get back to our watch face. Watch face. If we want a different watch face, or we want to modify it, we can do it a few different ways. First, let's go to our watch app on our phone and tap on our current face called Meridian. Here I can modify the colors, including the dial color, black or white in this case. We can even adjust complications if we scroll down a little. Complications are shortcuts to apps or snippets of information that we see on our watch face. Look at our current watch face. It has a subdial left, which is a shortcut to the workout app, a subdial right that's set to today's date, and a subdial at the bottom that's a shortcut to the activity app. The subdial top is turned off. Let's put something there by tapping it. I'll scroll down and select Compass. Now we've added a compass to our watch face. If we look at our Apple Watch, we can see that it's now displaying compass information on the top of the watch face. If I tap the little compass, it will open the compass and we can see it full screen on the watch. To exit compass, I'll click the digital crown once. We can also adjust or change the clock face on the watch. I'll press and hold the display on the watch. If I tap Edit, it's similar to editing the watch face on the phone app. I can change the dial color by turning the crown. If I swipe left, I can change the colors of the face. If I swipe left again, I can change the complications. I'll get rid of the compass by tapping it and then turning the crown to scroll to the top of the list, and then select Off by tapping it. If I click the digital crown, I'll go back. If I swipe right, I can add a new watch face by tapping the plus symbol. Then I can scroll through a huge amount of new watch faces and add a new one by just tapping Add. I'll press the digital crown a few times to return to my watch face. If we want to find a new watch face using the watch app on your phone, just tap the Face Gallery tab at the bottom of the screen. Select a new watch face, and then tap Add. It's that easy. I'll go back to the My Watch tab at the bottom. Select my old watch face, then scroll down and tap Set as Current Watch Face. It's that easy. Applications. Now let's talk about applications. To get to the application screen while at the watch face, simply click the digital crown once. Here you will see a ton of apps, and you can move the screen around with your finger to see them all. Or if you turn the crown, you can zoom in and out. To change the way you view apps, simply press and hold your finger on the touch screen for a few seconds. I can then change from grid view to list view if I want. If I press and hold the touch screen again, I can press Edit Apps, and then press the little X next to each app that I want to delete. I don't want to delete any apps, so I'll just tap the crown once. Of course, you can turn the crown to scroll through your apps. and then tap on one to open it. I'll choose my music app, for example. I can swipe down on the screen to go through my music. If I tap an album, I can start playing my music. But first, my Apple Watch wants to know where the sound should play from. I'll select my AirPods, for example, and then start listening to music. By the way, if you begin playing music on your iPhone first, your Apple Watch will bring up the music controls on the watch's display. I can play, pause, skip to the next track, go back to the previous track, and a whole lot more right from my watch. I can even turn the digital crown to raise or lower the volume. It's like a remote control. The dock. If I want to quit an app or apps, press the side button once. Then you will see a list of open apps. This is called the dock. It displays recently used apps by default. So to quit an app, I'll swipe the open app to the left and then tap the big red X to close it. Push the digital crown once to return to the watch face. To add a new app, you can press the digital crown and then select the App Store app. There you can scroll down to browse apps or search for a new app by tapping in the search bar at the top. Typing on an Apple Watch can be a little tricky at first. Sometimes it's easier or faster just to tap the microphone and say what I'm looking for.
Watch apps.
Then I'll tap Search. When you find an app that you want, just tap Get. I don't really want this app, so I'll press the digital crown button to get out of the App Store. By the way, if you find using the App Store on the watch a little frustrating, you can also do it from your phone using the Watch app. The screen there is much bigger. Tap the Discover tab at the bottom of the screen. Then tap Explore Watch Apps and it will bring you to the App Store. It's easy. Now that we went through the basics of how to use and add apps, now let me quickly highlight apps that I really like on the Apple Watch. First, we have the Message app, which is great for messaging people. Pressing the microphone will allow you to speak what you want to say in a message quite easily. If you can't speak for some reason, like you're in a meeting, if you tap Cancel, you can scroll down and see suggestions that you can just tap and send, like, "Thank you," "On my way," or "Sorry I can't talk right now." Great if you are in the middle of something and want to respond quickly. If I go to the Phone app, I can go to my contacts and make a call from my watch without picking up my phone. Don't worry, the watch has a really good microphone and speaker, so the person you are talking to can hear you clearly. There's a Voice Memos app that lets you record and listen to audio memos.
Remember that your husband owes you jewelry for this.
My wife's cute, isn't she? There's a podcast app if you like listening to podcasts. There's a calculator app. I tend to use it for tipping at a restaurant. Just enter the meal's total cost, then press tip, and it calculates a 20% tip. If you want a different percentage, just turn the digital crown. You can even divide the total amount, the cost of the meal plus the tip, between multiple people. Quite handy. There's a Find People app, which is able to track the location of people with their permission, of course, like family members, and they can keep track of your location if you want them to. There's an Audiobooks app that lets you listen to audiobooks, of course. There's a Camera Remote app, which controls your phone's camera. You can do things like remotely taking pictures or recording videos. You even get a preview screen on your watch. Really cool. There's a news app to help keep you up to date with what's happening in the world. There are also a ton of health and well-being apps. Always see a doctor if you have any medical questions or concerns when it comes to all of these health and well-being apps. I like the Heart Rate app. It tells you your current heart rate in beats per minute and tracks it. The next app I have a shortcut to right on my watch face, so I'll tap it. It's the Workout app, where you can track your workouts and set goals. It's a real motivator. There's an ECG app where if you place your finger on your digital crown, you can actually perform an electrocardiogram. which checks pulses to get your heart rate to see if your upper and lower chambers of your heart are in rhythm. If they are out of rhythm, that could be AFib. There's a noise app that actually monitors the noise level of where you are at and lets you know if the levels could damage your hearing. Try it out at a concert. There's an activity app that tracks how much you move, how much you exercise, and how much you stand throughout the day, and tracks it over time. The goal is to close each ring every day. It encourages you to stay active. There's a blood oxygen app that measures the oxygen levels of your blood. You just have to make sure that your watch is not on your arm too low. You keep the face up, and your arm is relaxed for 15 seconds, and then you will get a reading. There's a mindfulness app that helps you relax and focus. I can either pick reflect or breathe and adjust the duration of my session. For example, if I do breathe for 1 minute, the animation on the display expands and contracts to show me how to take deep breaths and when to release them. It relieves a lot of stress. There's a sleep app that is used to schedule your wake-up alarm, bedtime, and bedtime reminders. It also tracks and detects how long and how well you sleep. Quality sleep is very important for good health. Your watch even has a nightstand mode while charging at night, where when you have an alarm set, the display on the watch gently brightens before your alarm goes off. Also, if in the middle of the night you want to check your time, just tap the watch face and the dark display will show you the time in a gentle green color and then go black again after a minute. You can turn this on and off with your watch app on your phone. It's under General. If you scroll down a little, you'll see the nightstand on-off switch. Your Apple Watch even detects when you are washing your hands. If you open the watch app on your phone, scroll down to hand washing, tap it, and turn on hand washing timer and hand washing reminders. Now when you wash your hands, a 20-second timer automatically starts to make sure that you are washing your hands long enough to be properly cleaned. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The App Store has a lot more apps that you can download. It's impressive. So I hope that I taught you how to use your Apple Watch and the many things that it can do. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.